Hello guys, we're in Barcelona! Hello and welcome. My name is Céline and I'm a knitter and I went to Barcelona a few weeks ago. I'm slowly adding to my traveling knitter series here on YouTube where I travel to new cities, eat the food, visit the yarn shops, knit and explore essentially. So welcome to a knitter in Barcelona. Every time I travel, I think I'm so clever for booking the cheapest flight, but most of the time that means that the flight's in the middle of the night, which of course becomes my biggest regret during the fact. Once again, no lesson learned. We head to the airport at 3 a.m., running on 2 hours of sleep. The weather was not the cutest when we landed. It even rained a little bit, but fear not, it turned right around after we finished eating lunch. The palms were having a party in the sun, and the temperature was just perfect. I must admit, I was too tired to film on the first day, which ended up being quite relaxed anyway. So let's see what we got up to from the second day. Honestly, the city map wrap is the best invention ever. It just always makes me feel like a local everywhere I go, and with it at hand, I just waddle around like I know the place. This would not be a true traveling knitter video without the taste tests. So let's grab a snack. Right, we've just been to La Colmena, which is a pastry shop. I got an encasada that I had never heard of. This is her. She's quite hard. Apparently it's a very typical Spanish pastry, so let's give it a go. You know the cream is kind of frozen inside. Or is it like ice cream? I don't understand. This is the cross section. The pastry also is of a texture I'd never tried before because it's quite solid. Mr. Woozy just had some and he opened my eyes. This is basically bread. Let me show you what project I brought on this trip. I decided to start a new project, which is this right here. This is going to be a scarf for my mom. This pattern is the Ocean Scarf by Uni Jang. It's available on Craftsy, who are actually the kind sponsors of today's video. In case you haven't heard of Craftsy before, it's just your online resource for all things creative. It houses a myriad of classes for crafts ranging from knitting, crocheting, illustration, baking, cooking, photography, and much more. We didn't have a lot of luggage space. Also, we're only here for a couple days, so I knew that I didn't want to take any of my current whips. I'm quite far along in all of my works in progress, so they just would have been too big to carry around. This is a one-strand mohair project, so it's super compact and really easy to pop in my shoulder bag. It's an all-over lace stitch pattern with loads of eyelets and decreases. For months, I've been using Craftsy anytime I've needed guidance with my knitting techniques. The last one I followed was a class about knitting backwards. It's by Mary Beth Temple, and it is so fun. I think most of my current works in progress are worked flat, so there is so much purling, and sometimes your girl just wants to knit. I love finding new methods to knit. It's literally what I just did with continental knitting. I used to be an English knitter. Now, after almost 5 years of knitting, I switched to continental, and I felt like that enhanced my experience and almost updated the excitement of knitting. So yeah, I've just been following that class over on Craftsy, as well as this pattern. It's one of theirs that I had been eyeing for a while. I'm a really big fan of the platform because they keep on updating their catalog, so it keeps you coming back for more and it just keeps you inspired all the time. So if any of you knitty friends would also like to join the platform, the first 1,000 of you to click the link in my description box or scan this QR code on screen will receive 1 full year premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49. Let's try the other pastry. If there's one thing that's for certain is that Mr. Woozy will always go for the pistachio option. Always. So he went for a pistachio croissant. She's very pretty. Oh my gosh, look at that pistachio cream overflowing. It's quite dark. Okay, wow. That pistachio cream, insane. So nutty. I must say this croissant is also quite bready, unlike the English pastries that are so sugary. It really melts in the mouth. The layers are super friable. Love it. We didn't structure our visit too much. We kind of decided what to do as it was happening. And here we were walking around without destination, enjoying the beautiful architecture. And then we stumbled upon a food market. There is only one word to describe this food market: abundance. We are at Mercat de La Boqueria. We are just eating a bunch of bits and bobs, and this is the most insane market I've ever been to in my whole life. I cannot express how insane this is, and the quality of the food is gobsmacking. Everything is so fresh. Like, I imagine the queens coming here. I have no words. So I already had some chipirones, which is seafood. It was so good that I didn't even think of filming it, but I really recommend if you do eat seafood. And now I grabbed a cone of their jamon selection. I think there's pata negra and jamon serrano in here, and some cheese. Maybe it's manchego. I don't really know, but it looks stunning. So let's give it a try. Anyways, I got chocolate-covered candied oranges and they're already melting. Oh no. I've never had these before. Let's try. Oh, wow. That is regal. To refresh, we also got a jar of cold fruit. So I wanted to try the dragon fruit because I've only had London dragon fruit. Well, not grown in London, obviously, but I bought it in London and it tasted like nothing. Taste is still like extremely mellow. I was not too impressed. We were just walking to La Sagrada Familia and we bumped into Gaudi's famous butler house. We sadly weren't able to get a ticket to go inside because it was overbooked. So if I can give you one tip about Barcelona is make sure you pre-book your tickets to Sagrada Familia and stuff like that. All of Gaudi's beautiful things. But she's looking quite beautiful. I wouldn't mind living in there myself. The tiling is intricate. The colors are just my thing. I love the shapes. They're so soft and majestic. It was also very lovely to find out that Gaudi was sustainable in his work. For example, the mosaic on the house is made out of repurposed broken glass and ceramic. Also, any tiles that weren't used for the inside of the house ended up adorning the sidewalk on the street just outside. The house does look like sunshine and rainbows at first glance, but I realized that the balconies look like skulls. So like the eye section of a skull. They look like masks at like a masquerade party that you would wear. I checked, and indeed, those skeleton balconies are intentional. The house is even nicknamed House of Bones. Hello. Look at that mini balcony at the top as well. I also love the roof. It reminds me of a mermaid tail. It's actually meant to resemble a dragon's back. But anyways, of course, I gotta get myself a little souvenir ring from the market, and I'm even wearing it today. Barcelona also has a thriving scene of hand-painted ceramics, so Mr. Woozy bought himself a little bowl. It's so beautiful, and it's painted in gorgeous shades of green, aqua, and red. And I love these raised red dots on the side of the bowl. That's such a nice touch. These days, I'm always thinking about my parents, so I thought I would get a little card, write a little message and send it over to them. This is something that I don't think I've ever done. So I found this really cute design the other day. Now I wrote a little message. Let's put the stamp. I really like this fake stamp on the card, so I don't want to put my stamp on top of that, and I should have just enough space for the address. Clear this way. It's so cute.
In the depths of silence, where echoes remain, you were the sunrise, and I was the rain. A collision of souls, opposing in flight. I was the darkness. You yearn for the light.
Look at the Sagrada Familia. This looks straight out of a cartoon. I was saying it doesn't look like a human construction. It looks like it's off of some movie or something. They started building this 143 years ago, and so today it is the largest unfinished Catholic church in the world. And fun fact, a lot of people were kind of annoyed at Gaudi for how long it was taking to being finished. And to that, Gaudi replied, "It's all right. My client's not in a rush anyway," which I thought was so iconic. Gaudi passed in 1926, which, fun fact, is also when my grandmother was born. But yeah, when that happened, it was around 15 to 25% done. So it's still being constructed. It's definitely a labor of love, like all my hand knits. I would like to take a second to applaud the street designers in Barcelona for creating these single cedar benches. For the introverted knitters, this is amazing because you're not forced, or you don't have to risk having to sit with someone else that you don't know. These are all over the city. We are headed to Lala Nalu. It's a yarn shop here in Barcelona that a lot of you guys suggested I visit. Also, can I just say how much I'm loving wearing my Sadie top today? The temperature is just perfect for it. You know when your outfit just hits and it's so perfect for the temperature. There's nothing like not having to hold your coat everywhere you go because it's too warm and then it's too cold and you have to put it back on. It's just perfect.
De tu nido, paloma linda, anda y prueba tu volar. No tengas miedo, mi palomita, que nada te va a pasar. Anda y prueba tus alas bonitas, sin que el temor te limite. Vuela, paloma, bien alta.
I'm in paradise. We're about to have some paella. I am so excited. I can't even describe. While we wait for our reservation, I just wanted to show you my little purchases from today. The first thing I bought is this ring. I got it at a little market that we found. I think it's really cute. I like the gems. Then I went to Lala Nalu, which is a local yarn shop, and I picked up a couple of really pretty local yarns. I'm genuinely so happy with this little haul from them. The yarn that I got is super local. It's from the shop's brand. This is made sustainably here in Spain. It is hand dyed by the shop, except for this colorway that I'm holding up. This is the original natural undyed yarn. It is 100% merino. This specific one is their nadir base. I got 100 gram skein in this natural color. This is 380 meters. And then I got 250 gram skeins in these two shades. These ones they call Zenit. It actually doesn't say what color the green is. This rosy pink is the shade Albert, and both of these are actually a collaboration with Ali Maravillas, who is a hand dyer and designer here in Spain. These 50 gram hanks have 190 meters in them, and I really want to make a colorwork t-shirt with these three. I was thinking something like the sea glass, or maybe even a Mary Wallen pattern. I know that she usually uses many more shades throughout one piece, but I totally think I could work my way around that and use 3 shades alone. And the labels are so cute. So for this one, it's this girl playing with stars or something. Here we have a different illustration, but it's similar concept. The constellation, I thought that was so cute. The yarn feels very dry and light, so very airy. Smells like sheep. Not too overpowering. I really love how rustic these skeins look. It just looked like they made them next door sort of thing. I love that vibe. The shop was really, really well stocked. They also had a really cute back room where there was a knitting club going on. So I thought that was very sweet. It was relatively cheap. Like this yarn would have been way more expensive in the UK. I love this colorway. It's so muted. Mr. Woozy pointed out that it's basically like a watered down version of the Italian flag. Once I walked out of the yarn shop, we bumped into this other really cute store, and from the outside I saw this little fanny pack that I fell in love with and I couldn't leave without. The store is called Bonito Studio, and let's unbox. Here she is. She is beautiful olive gingham pattern. This is locally designed and handmade in Barcelona. It's got a beautiful thick canvas-like strap. I mean, this isn't canvas, but it kind of feels like that. I really liked the hardware. Sometimes hardware can look a little bit cheap. This one looks just really sturdy and high quality. The inside's also so beautiful. The lining kind of reminds me of linen. Let's try it on. She's so cute. I thought this colorway was probably the best one with my wardrobe. What do we think? It's just such a great souvenir. I love a good crossbody moment. In fact, let me put some yarn, because what else would you put in there? I must say, we were particularly stunned by how many independent shops are around Barcelona. It's honestly just such a dream for little boutiques and little cute shops that you couldn't find anywhere else. You know, I thought that was really, really special. And it's definitely one of the things that stood out to us the most while we've been here. Another thing that I really must not forget to tell you is about this restaurant that we went to the other day. On the first day that we were here, I didn't film any of it, but it was so good. I could not recommend it enough. I think the restaurant's called Ziriab. I'll put it on screen to confirm, but it's in Elborn area. And the tapas were insane. It was a type of tapas that I'd never had before. It was very different from the usual patatas bravas and croquetas de jamón. It had something magical and more that I really appreciated. And also the service was amazing. The people there were so sweet. That's something else that stood out to me. It's just the overall experience was great. That was really nice. We're waiting for our paella and they just brought us an hourglass. This is how long it'll take for the rice to be ready. They've not told us how many minutes this timer counts. It looks like it goes quite slow. The paella was nice, however, it was a little bit too sweet for my liking. Usually I don't mind that because that means it's caramelized and that usually pairs up with some crunchy texture, which is actually my favorite thing in a paella. But this paella was just sweet and it didn't have any crunchies. Sad. My favorite paella I've had in Malaga, and this one didn't quite top it, but the location of the restaurant is so gorgeous and beautiful that I still think it's worth it for that alone. Anyways, to help with digestion, we went for gelato. And guys, this is the best gelato I've had in so long. If you hadn't picked it up already, I'm Italian, and I can assure you this gelato was top quality. In the 3.5 days that we were in Barcelona, we went back to that gelato shop so many times. I had 2 or 3 gelatos. Mr. Woozy had like 5. We tried a lot of flavors and they were all just incredible. I tried the apple cinnamon one, stunning. Pistachio, stunning. Rosemary and olive oil, stunning. And they were making the cones right then and there, fresh, hot off the waffle press, rolled up on the waffle cone roller thingy, and they would roll them up double layered so that the cone would end up super thick. And there was a hint of cinnamon in the batter, and it was hands down the best gelato cone I've ever eaten. I have to be honest, I don't usually care for the cone on a gelato. I'll eat a little bit and then I'll give the rest to whoever I'm with. But this one I could never share. It was so incredible. It's beautiful. And yeah, the sun set and we made our way back for a good night's sleep. One of the days we also visited the Gothic quarter, where the Barcelona cathedral resides, and amidst the medieval streets, we found the Gothic antiques market. The stalls had the coolest pieces, ranging from vinyl records, jewelry, dolls, vintage cameras, coins, rare books, and honestly, so much more. I picked up this cute little magnifying glass for my mom. It has gorgeous raised decoration, sort of embossed on the handle, and I love the size. It's so tiny and adorable, and I thought it'd be perfect for her to just put on her bedside table in her room for whenever she misplaces her glasses. Every item in that market had so much character that you would want to take everything home with you, even if you're not a collector. The selection there is just obviously so special, so I'm very proud that I was able to hold myself back and only come back home with this. Now back to some food tasting. We of course had to eat more pastries, so here's me trying 4 different ones because I can, I guess. I shared them with Mr. Woozy, but of course I still got a tummy ache from them, but it was still really nice. We had them by the beach before making our way to Park Guell. It is a new day in Barcelona and we are at Park Guell. I'm currently sitting on the most stunning seating bench with the most beautiful mosaic. Would love this in my house personally. It's really good for the posture because it has this section here that forces you to kind of go like this. Really good for the desk. Got a headrest as well. Stunning. It's actually really comfortable. You wouldn't think so, but it is. And would you look at that, I found out later that this bench is indeed ergonomically designed for comfort, even without cushions. And I didn't know this when I said it out loud in the video. And just the fact that I pointed it out without knowing goes to show how majestically comfortable this bench was. We just got here and we're about to explore the rest of the park. We're gonna get the audio description as well so we can learn a few things. So yeah, let's go explore. First thing I learned is that this bench is called the Serpentine Bench and it is 76 meters or 250 feet long. I think that might be the longest bench in the world. The big open terrace was intended to be a Greek-style theater for public events and performances. There was art all around. There were even street artists painting and busking. And by the way, the song that's playing is actually called Park Guell, so I had to put it in this part. This park was originally designed to be a luxury housing development. Only 2 houses were built though, and neither designed by Gaudi, but he did live in one of them for 20 years. After touring the park, I was starving, so we headed back into the city for food. And while we were eating, these street performers started flying around, which was a pretty cool spectacle. But then they were told to stop, probably because they could have flown into someone, and that's not very safe. But it was cool while it lasted. It is now time to head to the second yarn shop, which is called All You Knit Is Love.
Sincero. Lo que yo siento es verdadero amor por ti. me da felicidad y despierta cosas que nunca sentí jamás.
Little haul from All Units Is Love. I walked out of the shop with a set of buttons, and this is the design that I picked. So these are handmade in Italy with mother of pearl. So they are super thin and delicate and shiny. And I was drawn to this color, which is not what I usually go for. This one's like a limey shade. I think it would look so good on a creamy garment, or if I'm feeling crazier, maybe on a purple, like a muted dusty purple. Think Knitting for Olive's dusty violet. Stunning, right? So I got 7 of those, thinking that I'd use 6 and then I'd have 1 to spare, because you always want to have a spare button. While leaving the shop, we heard some music pretty close by, so we decided to follow, and we were blessed with a live performance. Shop, we did something that ended up being my top favorite thing that we did during this trip, and it was watching a flamenco show. Honestly, it doesn't take me much to get emotional, especially when I'm watching a performance or a movie and stuff like that. But with this one, 2 minutes in, I was out. I started crying because it was just too much in a good way. The abundance of talent and passion just caught me completely off guard. I was floored. It's quite hard to get it across just by showing a video, because it's totally different when you're there in the room, in person. But I had just never seen such a passionate performance. It almost hurt. So yeah, this is the thing I recommend you do the most. If you're ever in Spain, watch a flamenco show, because I have goosebumps just thinking about it. And then we had gelato again. There is nothing in this world as pleasant as this. It is Sunday and it's our last day here, so we decided to spend it on the beach. Being here has made me rethink my life, and that maybe I should move to a city with a beach. Honestly, what a way to end this trip, with a couple of hours of sunbathing, stocking up on that vitamin D and salty air. Overall, didn't get too much knitting done, but I was very happy to make it to those 2 yarn shops, and I was so impressed with the yarn available in Barcelona. I always leave Spain feeling very enriched and happy, and this time was no exception. Barcelona felt like home for a few days, which I had never experienced with any other city before during a first visit. As always, I thank you so much for sticking till the end of the videos and coming along with me on my knitty adventures. I really appreciate the company. Let me know what project you're working on while watching. Also, let me know what is your favorite yarn shop of all time that you've ever visited anywhere in the world. I will say bye for now. In Barcelona, I will be back.